Hi, my name's Conan Daly, and this video will give you the highlights of my game Oblivion Galaxy. Oblivion Galaxy is a mid-weight Euro-style game for 1 to 4 players about the logistics of survival in the face of certain doom. It takes around 30 minutes per player and is primarily a worker placement and recall game. The game uniquely features a map that collapses in on itself in response to player actions, acting as a variable timer that players can influence depending on their strategy. Players work to build their economic engine, which is partially shared by all, and sacrifice redundant pieces of that engine when the doom draws near. In the distant future, prophetic cults have discovered that vortices of entropic force are approaching the galaxy, which is surely doomed. The goal of the game is to save as many of your coloured meeples as possible before the galaxy is consumed completely. You can do this by building up your economy, by placing workers, called acolytes in this game, placing facilities on the board, processing resources, and eventually building one of these methods of escaping the galaxy. Then it is a race against time to send people through reality gates, build Dyson spheres, or train them to transcend their physical forms as quickly as possible, because all the time the doom is consuming the remaining space on the map. As the board shrinks, the rich sectors on the outer edge are the first to be lost, making the scrabble for resources that bit more desperate as the game goes on. Individual turns are very simple. Players have 2 options. First, they can choose a sector to place any number of acolytes on, with the option of building a facility first. Placed acolytes grant resources or operate their facilities to bring you closer to winning. Alternatively, they can recall all their acolytes from the map to their board, pay an upkeep cost, and then advance a doom marker. Once they've done that, they have the option to deconstruct facilities for resources and place acolytes on the limited gold slots on some facilities. What players are working towards is to build and then make use of one of the 4 methods of saving their people from the coming doom. Each of these different methods awards an amount of points corresponding to how difficult, time-consuming, or costly it is. Some methods score higher, but take longer to implement and risk the game ending before they can be completed. Acolytes that are saved are placed in a scoreboard area, which quickly gives feedback on who is in the lead at a glance. Each player has a total of 25 meeples to save, providing a theoretical cap on points. If a player manages to save all their people, then all their facilities on the board fall into ruin, freeing up space for the other players, but from that point on, they move a doom marker every round, bringing about the end that bit faster. This dynamic, greater point awards for more time-consuming strategies versus saving everyone quickly and ending the game, provides one of the core inflection points of Oblivion Galaxy. As players can use each other's facilities, it is possible to sample from each other's strategies to maximise your score with the least possible effort, if the other players don't block you first. Oblivion Galaxy is built around the core experience of having a relaxed and expansive early game, which transitions to a desperate struggle to save everyone before it's too late. Since the timer and pace are influenced by player strategies, the mid-game revolves around a decision to either hold on to a higher scoring strategy and hope you have the time to pull it off, or pivot to a lower scoring strategy and try and execute it as quickly as possible to draw the veil down on players who are still going. So it is in equal parts a calculation of how much time you have left to execute your chosen strategy and whether the other players will give you that much time. Here's a quick run through of a typical turn. First up is red. They choose to place 3 acolytes on their mine, which awards 3 minerals each for a total of 9. Next is green. They decide to build a temple. They pay and place the tile on the board with their marker. Then they place 2 acolytes on it, pay the cost in the slots, and recruit some more acolytes, which they can use after they recall. Next, orange places 3 of their acolytes on green's crystallizer for 3 biometal, paying green 3 cash for the privilege. Next is blue, who recalls, taking all their acolytes back to their board except for a few who transcend. They pay an upkeep cost in cash, shown on their board beside their rightmost acolyte. They then move a doom marker, consuming green's acolytes and returning the facility tile to the supply and the sector back to the box. Then they can place acolytes on gold slots on their facilities, giving them a bit of action efficiency. Back to red, who places on their sun yard, building 2 more sections of their Dyson sphere. Play continues until all tiles left are doomed when the game ends and proceeds to scoring. A variable play experience is provided by 2 main elements. The first being the random selection and location of sector tiles on each individual map, and the second being the asymmetric abilities provided by each player's chosen cult and how they interact. Cults provide unique powers that can fundamentally change the experience of play. There are a total of 15 different cults in the game, providing a huge amount of replayability and a lot of variation in every play. Oblivion Galaxy is currently available as a playtest mod on Tabletop Simulator, and you can find more details and a link to the rulebook on my website and linked in the description. Thanks for your time.